Hello guys, my name is Sam and welcome back to SWTOR Central, and in today's video I'm going to be going through the entire autumn roadmap. So we do now have the roadmap and it's got lots of juicy information in there, and I'm going to go through each segment with you here in this video to just better explain it to you and just basically just take you through the entire thing. And now I'm just doing that thing where everybody just repeats themselves in the video for some unknown reason. Okay, let's get into this roadmap. Okay, so to start out with this roadmap, I want to talk about the United Forces, or just to translate that for everybody, that is in fact server merges. So this is something we've been speculating around for quite some time now, even though a lot of us pretty much already knew that this was going to happen, as some of the posts that Keeps have been making have been not too shy of just saying, hey, we're doing server merges. So they are going to be doing server merges in the form of this United Forces update, and it's going to be a 3-part server merge. Now basically the way this is going to work is that on October 10th with game update 5.5 they're going to be doing United Forces Foundation. Now none of this is going to be visible to any of us playing the game, so it's not really going to affect us that much, and the server merges aren't going to happen on that day, but that is when they begin to change their structural foundations to initiate the server merge. And the next part of this will be on October 24th, which will be the United Forces Formation. Now basically what's going to happen on October 24th is they're going to be taking the servers offline for quite a long period of time. This is going to be that they can roll out all of the server merges and get everything up and running, although the server merges still won't be happening that day, just those changes will be happening that day. Now I know this is going to sound really confusing, but just to keep this really simple for you, on November the 8th is when the server merges will happen. So on November 8th, the United Forces update is going to roll out, and every single person in this game is going to move to one of 5 new servers. There are going to be 2 American servers and 3 European servers. It also says here that the 3 European servers are going to be 1 English, 1 French and 1 German. So obviously this is actually very big news, and this can only be a good thing. I know this is such a controversial thing for a lot of players, especially role players and people with small and awesome communities on some of the smaller servers, but just trust me when I say that this is the best thing for the game. Now I know it's still going to ruin it for some people, but trust me, this is just going to be one of the best things to happen to this game in such a long time, if not the best thing of all time. So there you have it. It is now confirmed by November 8th this year we're going to have 5 completely new servers. Okay, so there is of course a lot more that goes with these new server merges, and obviously the most important thing here to a lot of people is going to be things like guild names and character names, and how does the merging of different legacies actually happen. So there is a really big blog post explaining the exact process of what is going to happen with these server merges, so I'll make sure there's a link in the description so that you can go and check it out for yourself. For now in video I'm just going to quickly go over some of the more important things what you might be looking for. Okay, so as I said, there is going to be 5 new servers hitting Star Wars: The Old Republic, and every other server is going to be abolished. Now there is already a system which is going to tell you which new server you will be going to. So for the American servers there is going to be 2 new servers. One called the Hot Prospect and the other called Starforge. Your transition will go like this. If you play on the Harbinger, the Begaron Colony or the Bastion, then you will be moved to the new server called the Hot Prospect. If you play on any of the servers called the Jedi Covenant, Shadowlands, Ebonhawk, Prophecy of the Five or Jung Ma, then you will be moved to the new server called Starforge. Now for the European servers there's going to be 3 new servers, of which are called Darth Malgus, the Leviathan and Tulak Horde. So if you currently play on the Progenitor, the Tomb of Freedom Nard and the Red Eclipse, then you will be moved to the new server called Darth Malgus, which will be the European English server. If you played on the Mantle of the Force, Battle Meditation or Darth Nihilus, then you'll be moved to the Leviathan, which is the European French server. If you played on T3M4 or Vengervalis Chain, Jarkai Sword, then you will be moved to Tulak Horde, which is the European German server. Okay, so I'll quickly go over character names as well. Now we all know that when server merges happen, people will lose their character names, and it's not a very fun thing to happen. So the way that they're going to be doing it is they will be prioritizing subscribers over free-to-play and preferred status players. I think this should have been an expected move. Anybody that supports the game is of course going to get more prioritization. Now the way that they're doing it seems to be the most fair way. So for example here, let's say you have the name Sam and somebody else has the name Sam, and they're both going to be merging to the same server. Now the person who has to rename their character is going to depend on a couple of things, such as are they free to play or are they a subscriber? How long is the playtime that they have on that character, and how long has it been since they played on that character? It should also be noted that if your character is under level 10, then you will likely lose that name if somebody else has it. In regards to your friends list, nothing will be affected unless your friend had to rename, at which point they will still be on your friends friends list just under a different name. So if you haven't done so already, then make sure you put some comments next to your friends list or to the people on your friends list, just so you can refer to who is who and like how you know them. Your ignore list will also be kept intact regardless of whether who you ignored changed their name. It doesn't matter, they will still be ignored. In regards to the GTN, all of your listings will be absolutely fine. Nothing will have been removed, nothing will be deleted, don't worry. But when you go back to checking the GTN after the merges, you will of course see a lot more listings because all of the listings have been merged together. Any appearance that you had in outfit designer will not be affected. Any character transfers are going to be disabled from October 24th until November 8th, since that is going to be the final preparation until the server merge. And the list really does just go on and on. The next thing that I will mention here is your legacy currencies, so things like unassembled components or tokens or just whatever it is that you've got that is going to be merged together on one server. You will not lose any of it, they will all stack on top of each other, just you won't be able to earn any more of that specific currency until you have depleted your current pool. Please do go and have a look at this blog, it is super long and you're really going to need to check this out for yourself so you can see exactly how everything is going to work. We have lots of feedback commentary and lots of talk about things that they've seen and things that they want to change, but I'm going to keep this real nice and simple for this video. I'm just going to bring you all the information right up here in front of you and I'm just going to list everything off. So we're going to skip straight to the schedule and just go through all of the content coming with each different update. So they do begin with the New York Cantina, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but if you're interested in it, make sure you go and check out the roadmap on the forum so that you can see when the Cantina is happening and whether you want to participate or not. And of course they're doing like free swag and stuff, so it's always going to be a benefit to go. Okay, so the next update is obviously going to be game update 5.5 and we have the United Forces Foundation. This will be coming on October 10th, and with this update we are going to be getting unassembled components will now drop off all master mode bosses, which is a huge deal for everybody who does master mode progression, which did used to be called Nightmare. Those people were kind of, I don't want to say screwed, but not very rewarding for their drops and stuff. So now having unassembled components for those guys is going to be pretty goddamn awesome. There's going to be improvements to Galactic Starfighter, which doesn't go in depth too much about on the actual schedule, but I do know that that is going to be some balancing, some quality of life improvements, although we don't have the entire details on those. We're also going to be having the PvP bolster increased to 242 item rating, which is going to be good for everybody that's been doing regs. If you didn't think like you were participating as much before, maybe you will now with this new bolster increase. The next thing to be coming is the Dark versus Light pop-up will now display less frequently, and once a side has won, they will remain in victory state much longer. This allows more time to work to defeat the world bosses and to reap the benefits. So I guess that is kind of a good thing. It makes it a little bit easier for people to sort of plan when they want to do the world bosses, or at least the Dark versus Light bosses. That's if people are even still interested in those. I know that it wasn't a massive thing for the game, but obviously it does still exist. So if you're interested in those, and that was one of the things that were holding it back for you before, you can now go to it and have more time to do those things. The next thing to be changing is substantial improvements to the IOCAF daily area. They've dramatically reduced the IOCAF currency requirements for a variety of the daily quests. Now that is actually quite big news, especially if you're wanting to plan open world PvP events with some of the consumables that you get there, because majority of the dailies do actually require you to spend that currency to earn currency, which is a grind in itself. So having those decreased is going to, I guess, increase motivation for people to want to go there and set up some events, especially with me. The next thing that will be coming with this is a new Galactic Command Rank Legacy perk. Now this is basically the same thing that we already have. So we basically have a perk in our Legacy where if you have a character that already has Command Rank 300, which is the max level, then you can get yourself a 25 XP bonus to all CXP earned on all your characters. But they're adding to this so that every time you have a character reach rank 300, it's going to add another 25%, which will stack automatically, and this will stack all the way up to 100%, so you can get yourself some pretty sweet CXP gain if you have at least 4 characters who are command rank 300. The next thing that's going to be added is a new companion customization vendor available in the Fleet Bazaar. The vendors will sell older companion customizations for opposite factions. This basically means that if you play in a Republic faction but you've got a vet for your companion, then you can go to one of these vendors and get yourself a customization for vet, because she didn't originate from your faction. There's also going to be additional class balance changes, which obviously it doesn't really go into depth with because we'll get those as they come. Next one is going to be the introduction of taxi points in the Yavin and Tatooine strongholds for faster navigation. I don't know if that was a necessity, but hey, we're getting it, so let's just not complain. The next one is going to be Cartel Market store changes, which is a pretty interesting thing to just put there. I feel like you can't really just put cartel market store changes and then nothing else. I think like you need to elaborate on that a little bit, but that's all we've got, so let's just move on. United Forces structural changes, and like I said earlier, the improvements are not visible. So obviously this is the first part of the server merge, so I think it would be smart of us as the player base to maybe expect some server issues as these updates are rolling out, because they are going towards server merges. And then obviously, as previously stated, October 24th is going to be the next part of those updates, so maybe we should expect some server issues at that point too. Okay, so the next update after this will of course be 5.5.1, which is coming on November 8th. So on that day, they will be forging United Forces Galaxy from a broader set of server communities into a set of larger but fewer servers, and extended downtime is planned for this effort. So I'm definitely expecting them to be down for 12 hours plus maybe when this happens, maybe even for a full day, because this is going to be it. This is going to be the entire server merges, all 5 new servers. I'm expecting issues to happen. I think we'd be smart as a player base really to just expect these things to happen. But on the flip side, these are going to be really, really good changes, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens after these server merges. Okay, so the next thing coming with this update on November 8th is going to be that for a full week, they're bringing back a double XP rewards, Command XP, Valor, and Requisition. So that's pretty cool. We're getting another double XP event. They're also going to be doing like a little mini event where when you log in, you're going to get yourself a cool new mini pet called the Mini Mogul NM1, which was apparently inspired by one of the operation bosses, Karagalian Yielding. So I guess that's pretty cool. Thumbs up for that one. And the next thing to be added with this update is going to be unlock new achievements when you complete multiplayer activities using Group Finder and earn the Merciless Darth Hexed Companion. So that's quite an interesting thing to mix together there. I wonder if that's going to be you can earn a Darth Hexed Companion after earning some of these new Group Finder achievements. I'm not entirely sure on that one, just gonna have to see where that one takes us. Okay, so game update 5.6, which will be rolling out on November 28th. The server merges will have been active for a couple of weeks at this point, so let's just hope that none of the servers have burnt down. So in this update, we are going to be seeing Nahut, the third boss encounter for gods from the machine. As previously stated in this roadmap, they did say that everything's been tested on their PTS and everything's been refined, and they're planning on releasing Skyver and Isaacs early 2018 along with master mode versions of those bosses, so that's going to be pretty sweet. We're also going to be getting a new flashpoint on Copero. Find out what Pharaon's been up to with the Chiss. I should also point out that this update, game update 5.6, is going to be called A Traitor Among the Chiss. That's also going to be the name of the flashpoint. Okay, so we're also getting a new PvP map. We don't know where this PvP map is, we don't know if it's a different objective type, but we're getting a new PvP map. But I can only speculate that it's going to be 4v4. I don't know why, I just speculate that it will be just a 4v4 arena. And we're also going to be getting a new GSF map set in the orbit above Iokath, which is going to be an interesting one, especially with the changes that they're doing with GSF, the balancing and all the quality of life and stuff. I wonder if people are going to be more interested in this now. And as I've said in previous videos anyways, it's nice to see GSF get some love because it is a piece of our game and, you know, it's nice to have content updated. Okay, so the next thing coming with this update is going to be a Group Finder revamp, a significant upgrade to how you queue for multiplayer and solo activities, huge bonuses for all random play choices, but also allows for easy selection of individual activities such as daily areas, flashpoints, and operations. So it looks like they're actually going to be adding more aspects of multiplayer to Group Finder with an easier way to do so, along with adding a few extra rewards for doing some of the other things. So that's going to be an interesting change. There's lots of good stuff coming with this. I'm really enjoying this so far. And the next thing to come with this update is going to be class balance changes and a variety of utility adjustments. So that's also an interesting one. And the next one coming is going to be the launch of a legacy-wide currencies for credits and unassembled components. Now this of course is a pretty big deal, so that this means on November 28th we're going to be getting a legacy storage bank, which works pretty much like the guild bank where we can store our credits, deposit and withdraw. Unassembled components are also going to be a legacy consumable now, so whenever you earn an unassembled component, it's going to go straight to your currency tab, which you can access from any of your characters. An excellent update to the game, I'm really enjoying that one. The next one is going to be that Galactic Command is having their disintegrate system updated. This quality of life improvement changes how disintegrate works, and instead of CXP, gives you legacy bound unassembled components. So instead of just wasting them and just getting some more CXP, it's just going to give you unassembled components instead, which I think is a very fair trade and I'll take it. Ensign Temple returns, one of the favourite Imperial Agent companions, so I'm sure lots of people will be happy to have that one back. And then the next thing that I have here is distribution of special United Forces rewards. Don't really know what those are, but we're getting some rewards, so that's pretty cool. And then the next update will of course be game update 5.6.1, which will be rolling out on December 12th. 12th, which will also be the 6-year anniversary for Star Wars The Old Republic. On this day, we're going to be getting some quality of life changes. Don't really know what they are, but they're coming. Star Wars The Old Republic 6-year anniversary celebration, of course, like I just said, and the Wookiee Life Day celebration begins. It's very interesting because I don't elaborate on some of this a lot, so I'm wondering if we're going to be getting some sort of Wookiee decor or Wookiee themed anniversary event. That could be pretty cool. And of course, we get a little early look at what's going to be coming in early 2018. So the conclusion to this chapter of the story is coming where the traitor reveals his true plan once and for all via a new flashpoint. So in early 2018, we're going to get a new flashpoint, which will be the continuation of the one that we got earlier. So we have Crisis on Umbara, next we have the traitor among the chase, and then we're going to have another flashpoint where the traitor actually reveals their plans. So this has actually been dragged out quite a bit. Let's hope that the conclusion is going to be worth it. Let's see. Also in early 2018, they're going to be deploying the final bosses and details about Master Mode for Gods from the Machine. There's going to be an upgraded conquest system and a new daily activity system with great rewards, so it's nice to see conquest is finally going to be touched on. And there's going to be more multiplayer gameplay experiences for both PvP and PvE. I can only mean that this means more activities within both, so being new maps or new ways to group up and just lots of other things. I guess there's too much speculation here to just go through in this video. The roadmap also continues to speak about player communication, which I think is very important. Keith is basically saying here that he values everybody's feedback and he wants everybody to keep it coming the same way that they have been doing with the past couple of months. So there we have it, guys. That is the roadmap for autumn 2017 for Star Wars The Old Republic. I think it's fair to say that there is quite a bit coming, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. There has been no news still of a new expansion, and I know that so many people are going to be just not happy about this, but let's just take everything that we have here at face value. Let's just see it for what it is. We're getting some pretty cool stuff here along with server merges, which is obviously going to take up a huge amount of resources, and I just hope to God that none of the servers just self-destruct or something. So here's to another year of Star Wars The Old Republic, 6th anniversary coming this year, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's around the corner and when they eventually do announce a new expansion, which I'm sure they will do. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you just smash the thumbs up button, and if you're new to this channel, then just make sure that you subscribe for everything Star Wars The Old Republic, news sources, interest pieces, absolutely everything. Just smash that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.